Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. I am doing I think it's part 4 in the Trees Journal series under the playlist Get Her Done. So okay, so you know that I have multiple journals under construction at the same time. I've shown you updates. And the one that has been the most challenging, in a sense, thinking I'm making a shadow here. Let me just throw some light on the subject. Whoa. Is the one that I use this green, heavier, whatever kind of paper it is, to make the cover. So you can see that it's got a gigantic spine, basically 3 inches. So, of course, I was leaving the most challenging one for the end. And I should say that, I am working on this stuff in between and behind the scenes and just periodically do an update. Anyway, in one of the comments under a previous video, pretty sure it was Teresa, who said, well, why don't you consider doing a journal that opens this way? And I thought, that's interesting. I knew it would be more challenging in that you have to kind of think hard about the orientation of the pages. So what I've been doing so far, while I was on hold forever and a day with Shaw Direct, a word to the wise. If they give you if they say, the wait is 15 minutes to 25 minutes, but you can leave your name and number and we'll call you back within 15 to 25 minutes. Don't believe a word they say. So I continued working, not doing a darn thing with my phone because I got to keep the line open because who knows, Shaw could be calling any moment. So about an hour and a half later, I decided, well, this time I'm phoning and I'm going to stay on hold. So I got through. Anyway, so what I've been doing, and I guess I better keep, how are we looking frame-wise? Okay, I'm going to keep it this way because that, of course, is the challenge, to remember that anything that you put together, you kind of want it to read properly. So I'll show you what I've done and how and why and so on. So, this isn't the front page, but pretend it was. So you'd open it and you've got a partial page here, but I love this so much because it's like doodling. This will be upside down, so that theoretically could be covered. So more than likely at some point I'll have to add a patch. Now what I've been doing, if I've been trimming any of the things, so actually I could do this. I could add that on. So, but basically what I'm saying is that I have been, anything that I've cut off, because my process has evolved, sometimes you think, oh, how am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? How am I going to do it? And then the more you get into it, you begin to, the answer sort of comes. But anyway, so that's one of those. It's out of, those large format. Oh, I've got it right here. I always call these Walter Foster books, but I don't think this is a Walter Foster. So you can see it's something like 13 inches long. And of course, many beautiful pages in it. Oh, I'll show you another thing here. I also have, not that this has anything to do with trees, but a long time ago in a kitchen type store, I bought this pad of 48 placemats. These are the designs. So they're not great. The more beautiful one, pad, was probably about $25. So needless to say, too rich for my blood. So what I did was I started pulling out the green pages. And I don't know, I don't like that blue border. Let me just see how wide this is. So it's actually a little bit wider. Somewhere here, I have a Post-it where I've written out how tall the pages have to be. Because you can do it, or I can do it 100 times and I could still, you know, screw up. So it's good to have a reminder front and center. Anyway, I took these pages and tore them in half lengthwise. And then I just took them to the island and to the kitchen. I went to the islands with them. I went to the kitchen island and sprayed them with apparently a very weak, the backside with a very weak coffee/tea mixture. I should actually not waste my time doing anything that pale in the future. I mean, it does show a little bit, but these guys are still drying, but I did want to show you that. So I think what I'll do, because I have a couple batches of that in small squirt bottles that are sitting in the fridge, so I'll probably strengthen that a bit. Anyway, carry on. In this case, I attached it to some green-toned coffee dye, no, I have a purple cabbage dyed paper that I had done. And if you saw that video, may remember some of that. Okay, here's another piece, because of course on those, out of this book, you know, you get double width. So here I have a, wait, can you see that? I have a flap. Now I could at some point close that and let it be a pocket. That's upside down. Again, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. This is more important that it be right side up. Here, I just did a patch that way. Now this, of course, will be upside down, but same story. Then I had these wallpaper samples. And I don't want these trees upside down or inside out or anything like that. So I just basically, now I of course had to, you know, get my height right. And what I do with this, you know, I guess remains to be seen. I could tear that off and just have it as some scraps to use for decorating. Actually, let me think about that. Oh, I could use that to make, that could remain a pocket and it would be right side up. Okay, then, you know, ledger paper is pretty big. And finally, it occurred to me, well, if it's too wide, I could have a side pocket or a side tuck. I don't have to trim that off. So I've got, I think, 4 pieces basically of that. And I have no idea how many signatures I need or how many pages I need. I don't know why this paper doesn't have any lines on it, but same scenario. I then thought, well, let's use some cardstock because I think there's going to be plenty of room in this journal. So you can just see that I basically folded that back and at some point will, you know, be adding something to it. Or a book page or who knows what. But anyway, a bunch of those. Oh, you know what? This isn't good. I had this landscape style book with these lovely tree drawings, and I thought, oh, I can use them, but no, they'll be sideways. Who wants that? So I'd better get them out of here and use them in some other way. See what I mean about being confused? It doesn't take much for some of us. Then I began piecing together, you know, it's not sewn, but I guess I could run these through the sewing machine if for a little more interest. That paper that I was talking about. So it's all single-sided scrapbooking paper that I purple cabbage dyed. And I thought, okay, don't overthink it, just put things together. Now this, I guess it doesn't really have a right and a wrong or an up and a down. What I did here was I glued down a washi tape patch. And I guess I could let some of the pages go this way. Here, now obviously I have to cover that. Another patch. This one is shorter, obviously, so something might get added there. And of course, some just may stay. Well, no, some will obviously. Oh, you know what I never thought of till now? I could also be attaching an envelope. Do I have one within reach? Probably not. But imagine putting an envelope right here at the bottom, like gluing it on. Ah, yeah. So this one, I didn't trim. So if you add two 12-inch papers without trimming, you end up with 24 inches. So I thought, well, okay, so this could just unfold for lots of journaling space, more washi reinforcement. Now, I don't want there to be, you know, a million things kind of at this end. This one was one of the early ones I did. So I was thinking, oh, pockets, pockets, pockets. Now I put a notch there, so I will have to be gluing that down. And then likewise here, I suppose this one could be left. Mind you, I put a notch, so I'll have to glue those two. More of that paper, so this was just a straightforward overlap. This was another even though I glued it, that's how well it's sticking. What the heck? Oh, you know, this one had a backing. You'd think between the backing and the glue it would stick better than that. Anyway, so this same scenario here. Could be a pocket, could just be a flippy thing to write on. Likewise here. And I didn't care for this paper, so I did. This was my prototype for the first one. So, oh, okay. So what I have here, but this isn't great. Okay, so this is a flap thing. This is a pocket, but you know, an upside down pocket. So how well will things stay in there, I guess, remain to be seen. But anyway, for better or worse, that is what I have done so far. So I just thought, not that you probably need me to spell this out because it's so, well, other than keep your journal handy and keep remembering, you know, that some things may be upside down and you may not like that. Okay, so I've got an 18-inch ruler here, and I know that overall I want 17 inches. So if I glued these like this, I'd be at 20 inches or so. So I have a couple of choices. I can just have a major overlap like that, and then this can be a pocket on this side. Don't usually want the fold, the signature fold, to be where the gluing is. So you want to do it, you know, one sort of offset that a bit. So to keep things relatively straight, now this paper is slightly narrower than the scrapbooking paper. Oh, and I got a little bit smarter after the first sheet. So the first one, I did the tape, again, lifting, and then I trimmed to get my, what is it, 5 1/4 wide. And then I thought, well, that's goofy. So then I began trimming prior to attaching them. So I've got some better sized scraps here that can be used for various things. Okay, so let us think this through. We don't want to lose any of that. I don't want to lose any of that tree. So here, let's line up this ruler. So that's 17 inches. You probably can't see all of this, but take my word for it. So 17 essentially is like so. So, and I've lost my mechanical pencil, so I use this old school one. I'm going to make a couple of tick marks because that helps me decide where to put my glue and to get this lined up correctly. Okay, so if that is where my connection is, and I want the tree intact, I could just glue, like I said before, I could just glue the edges and the bottom. Now that, oh boy, how long is this? Oh, see, this is 8 1/2 in itself. Anyway, okay, let's get on with this. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket scientist. It's not rocket science, but it is easy to get confused, or easy for some of us to be confused by this. Ah, see, I would have gone that way, but no, that's not right. I need to be here so that I have a pocket on the other side. And of course, if this turns out to be wrong, oh, let's quickly do this. With no regard for centering whatsoever. Okay, so, oh, I kind of forgot that this paper, damn. Forgot that this paper is narrower than, should give that a second to grab before I start folding. Now the thing here is that this is going to be very close to the signature fold if I do the halfway mark. So maybe what I'll do, but does that cause a problem here? You know what? I think I will just fold this essentially where that pocket is. I mean where that joint is. And now one of these sides is this is going to be too long. Oh, that isn't what I wanted. Oh, hell. Well, I'll just have to. So I would want, boy, that's not very straight. Okay. I think that I will, let's just see what's going on here. 8.5, so that will be fine. This one will be a hair short, but that's okay. So I'll throw that on my pile. And basically, for the rest of these, all I did was sort of pair them up in ways that I think kind of go together. The reason I have this here is a reminder, like I salvaged this out of an old scrapbook. So what I could do, this is kind of, oh, it's doubled. I could also use some of this for my connections instead of washi tape that doesn't hold, even with gluing. So yeah, I'll probably use some of these as well just for, you know, a look. Let's me fold one of these. Okay, what did I say this? Okay, so this is essentially 16 inches. So that's within our but let's grab the book and see if this is, whoa, see if this is too wide. Yes, so I think that I will probably be trimming that blue border off because I don't care for it anyway, even at the short ends. So that will be some homework for me. So I think I will probably stop there because that's all I, you know, had intended for today, for this video, is because I want to get these pages attached, and in there I will have a better idea of how much more I'll need. I keep thinking of things that I could include. I suppose I could include some atlas and music papers because those tend to be bigger. I also have just brown paper on a roll that I could cut to whatever size I need and not have to do this patchwork effect. I am forcing myself to do this though because quite often I think I get bogged down with, oh, it has to be, you know, tasteful and matching, and not that this will not be tasteful, it'll just be a little more daring. And I do try to mix it up as to which side, like do I keep the two patterns together, do I keep the dyed sides together? So guys, I will let you go, and hopefully, I didn't even ask or say that I hope you're having a good day and that you're crafting, that you are in a smoke-free zone and not experiencing any other weird weather. So I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.